Hello everyone, and welcome to today's drawing time-lapse and studio sessions episode 39. Before I begin, I just wanted to quickly announce that I'm having a 15% off sale for prints at my store, so you can redeem it with the code INK at happyd-artist.com, and the sale ends April 30th. Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace, which is what I've been using for the past 4 years to build and host my website and online shop. I absolutely love them, and I'm so honored to bring you guys this special offer. So whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and visit squarespace.com/happydartist to get 10% off your first purchase. Also, I will be listing all of the art supplies used in today's video along with links to purchase them in the description below. For today's drawing, I'm actually going to be doing it on one of my very own sketchbooks. I'm quite pleasantly surprised with how good the paper is, and it's just such a surreal feeling to be using my own sketchbook. If you guys are interested in picking up one for yourself, I'll have the link to purchase them on the screen and in the description below. Okay, let's move on to the topic of discussion. So as you guys know, in my previous studio sessions video, I talked about whether or not procrastination helps breed creativity. I mentioned that the right amount of procrastination and the right amount of stress and pressure actually sometimes can encourage creative types to think outside the box and come up with more exciting new ideas. However, procrastination does come at a cost, because when you procrastinate, it essentially means you have less time to complete your project, which can then result in stress from the impending deadlines. So in this video, I am going to try to tackle this common friend of procrastination, which I like to call deadline panic. And for me, the two definitely go hand in hand. I like to use my solo show as an example because that's currently the biggest and most important project I have going on in my life right now, and I've been feeling a fair amount of deadline panic coupled with a kind of good type of stress, and it's the type of stress that really induces my creative inspiration. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of my personal tips for how to combat the stress so that you can let your creativity shine instead and take center stage. So the first tip I have, and the most important one I've realized, is to establish a daily routine. And what I mean by that is basically adhere to a strict schedule and try to repeat the same set of tasks, like try to establish a pattern, if you will, day to day. And the reason I think this helps deal with stress is because when you repeat this pattern day after day, you can get a better and more accurate sense of how fast you can work, what you can accomplish in a given amount of time, and that will help set the right expectations for yourself in terms of what you're able to accomplish and what your goals and deadlines should be. For example, I know that I cannot paint more than an average of 6 hours per day due to just the nature of my job and the other tasks I need to finish throughout the week, such as social media, emails, shop orders, video editing, things like that. So when you take all that into consideration, I can only paint an average of 6 hours a day a week. Unless, I start venturing off into unhealthy exhaustion territory and lose sleep, but I'll get into why that's not good later. But yeah, so knowing how long my paintings can take, let's just, for the sake of this example, say each painting takes 18 hours at the easel. I can then assign 3 painting days per piece if I do 6 hours a day. So 6 times 3 is 18. And let's say I aim to have 10 pieces total for my solo show. So just doing some simple math, I know I will need a total of 60 painting days. And then by using this formula, I can decide whether 10 pieces is too ambitious, whether I should maybe cut it down or turn some paintings into faster mediums such as illustrations. Or, should I give myself more time? Should I cut down on vacation time? Or maybe, ultimately, if the math doesn't add up and I'm unable to be this ambitious, I can also just manage the right communication with my clients about the kind of progress that I'm able to make. So having this type of daily routine and a more honest and realistic sense of what you're able and capable of doing can really help you manage the right expectations. The second tip I have is to avoid overexerting yourself daily. So I might be different from everyone listening to this, and that's fine, but at least for me personally, I'll be way more productive if I give myself the appropriate amount of breaks to let my body and mind reset or recharge, rather than if I try to work nonstop, in a row with no breaks at all just because I'm stressed and panicked. So I think exhaustion will wear you down way more in the long run and ultimately hinder your overall productivity. A great example is if you pull an all-nighter. So let's say that my normal healthy pace is working 10 hours a day. So let's say if I work 2 normal 10-hour days, I can still get a decent amount of rest to recuperate and recharge in between. And in the end, I can get a total of 20 hours of productive work done over 2 days. However, if I stay up late one day and work 15 hours and don't get enough sleep, usually by the next day I am so exhausted from lack of sleep that I either end up taking too many naps, or in most cases I am just significantly slower and less productive, less focused, because I am super tired and not able to work to my full potential. So over the 2-day period with the all-nighter, I might only get 15 to 16 hours of productive work time versus the 20 hours I can get from just working 2 normal days with rest. And whether it's on a daily or weekly basis, always make sure to give yourself enough time to rest. Even if I'm going through a super busy sprint and I end up working on the weekends, I will still make sure to at least carve out 1 full day on the weekend to just relax and do nothing, because otherwise I'm just not ready for the next week. And my final and favorite tip on how to combat the stress from deadlines is to break up your daunting big project into smaller, more digestible goals and tasks. So using my solo show as an example again, instead of always confronting the huge task of finish all 10 oil paintings, I will give myself a set of daily tasks or weekly tasks that I can cross off my list more frequently and give myself that feeling of accomplishment. So for example, I can have tasks that are like complete the underpainting for one piece, or sketch 3 thumbnails, or find reference photos. So these things on a daily basis can give me a small feeling of accomplishment, of progress, of victory, and it's just so much better for your overall self-confidence. And no huge project ever goes from 0% complete to 100% complete instantly. There's always going to be an in-between stage where you're partially done and partially unfinished. So you need to be able to still reward yourself mentally for the great progress you have made so far, even if the ultimate task isn't finished yet. And I think this type of positive mindset will definitely help reduce panic and stress, because you're not just focusing on the work you have left. You're still able to enjoy the victory of the work you have already completed and the progress you have already made. And that should give you some sense of confidence about the road ahead, because you are capable of making good work. You are capable of accomplishing your goals because you've been doing it little by little, day by day. And the more confidence you have and the more faith you have in yourself, the less you will let that stress and self-doubt overcome your mind. In my opinion, stress mainly comes from an uncertainty of whether or not you will be able to meet your goals and meet your deadlines. So when you could eliminate that uncertainty with the right sense of confidence and an accurate sense of your capabilities and your pace, you can therefore eradicate the stress. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more art videos from me, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!